different from the rest. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. But I keep on falling. We're all searching for that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make. Maybe then I'll understand. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. But I keep on falling.
I'll be there when the lights don't shine. I'll be there in the sleepless nights. I'll be there, make you feel alright. I'll be there, I'll be there. I'll be there when the lights don't shine. I'll be there in the sleepless nights. I'll be there, make you feel alright. I'll be there, I'll be there. wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you?
ask, don't play pretend. You know you left me lonely, I could tell them the whole story. It may take a couple hours, I've got time, let's get to chat. How could I explain the situation? Man, it's so damn complicated. Where do I start, where do I end? I should go back to bed. I'm going back to all the basics, teaching myself now how to erase it. It's like learning a whole new language, and I'm afraid, too scared to face it. I just want consistent clarity, but all my thoughts destroying me. Some peace of mind is all I need to give peace to all of my family. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't need an ask, don't play pretend. You think you are everything I need, but I gotta leave. Try but can't get through to me. It's not you, yeah, it's always me. I close my heart to you, you see it opens up for nobody. It's been so hard to fall asleep. The weather always makes my nose bleed, makes my nose bleed. It's so hard to believe that one day I'll feel peace. I want control over my life, I want that driver's seat. Yeah, it's not you that I need. You push me down when I'm weak. You were never there for me. Go pick up your keys and leave. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't need an ask, don't play pretend. You think you're everything I need, but I gotta leave. Can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. Cause you think you are everything I need, but I gotta leave. wish a void opened in the air to suck me up, cause I really don't care. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I'm gone. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I am gone. I feel so hollow inside, Promise me everything, but please don't lie. Disappointment echoes in my brain. Anyone would really go insane. Empty hands promised me everything, gave me nothing in the end. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I'm gone. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I am gone. I feel so hollow inside, Promise me everything, but please don't lie. When I fall, would you miss me at all? I feel so hollow inside, Promise me everything, but please don't lie.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Blitz Gaming Series second qualifier. We are here in round 9, and we are hoping to watch some good Siege. I'm Mr. Garage this Sunday, and I am accompanied by, for his very first time, Standby. Standby, how are you? Are you excited today?
I'm excited. I'm excited to watch the match. Wildcard Aces, Dolly TM's #1 fan. I think it's gonna be good. Yeah.
This is hopefully going to be a really good one. I'm not super familiar with Dolly, but Wildcard Aces I have casted. I've watched them play quite a few times. Hopefully we're going to get an exciting one. Both of these teams are currently 5 out of 8 in terms of maps they've won for this second qualifier here. So once again, we are in the part of the qualifier stage where the teams have played quite a few maps. Now they're all seeded against fairly similarly strengthed teams. So 5 and 8, positive win record. Hopefully we're going to see a fairly competitive map and a fairly competitive game today out of both of these teams. I'm really excited to maybe be surprised by Dolly, because like I said, I'm not super familiar with these guys and I want to see something new.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's gonna be good. Excited first cast.
Can take a look here at the rosters. For Dolly, it's Beezer, Joyful, Ashton, Rin, and Foreign. I think I'm saying that right. And Wildcard Aces, Abinai, Emilio, Teddy, Waltz, Amty. Excited. Like I said, I've casted those guys on Wildcard Aces before. I've seen them a bunch around in various T3, T4 tournaments. So super excited to see them again, but super excited to see Dolly as well. we're excited there. I'm really looking forward to the maps. I want to see kind of which map we're going to. I've looked at the maps that both of these teams have gone up on the previous set of rounds, and I just want to see what they ended up picking. They're going to Cafe. Now, I don't think that Wildcard have yet played Cafe in this tournament. Dolly did once, and they won it. But Wildcard haven't played it at all. So this is going to be, at least for this tournament, they've obviously played it in the past. It's an old map. This is going to be new territory for them here. But we at least know that Dolly can take a win there. They won it 7-4, so it was a pretty solid victory, not an absolute blowout, but they certainly had that one under control.
Has Dolly, has Wildcard been banning it? Have they been avoiding it, or has it just been luck of the draw that the other teams are banning it?
In the previous ones I have watched, it was banned. I can't remember off the top of my head if Wildcard were the ones banning it, but it was being banned. Yeah, like I said, don't know if they were actually the ones banning it, but it has just been a map that they haven't played. Oh, you know what? It's Consulate? I thought I saw Cafe. Did I see that wrong?
No, I'm pretty sure it was Cafe.
I'm doing a Consulate Flavor, but I think I'm seeing it's still Cafe. Oh!
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Okay, I was confused. I was about to say. Yeah, like I said, don't know if they themselves have been banning it, if they have been avoiding it. Surely it's a map they know how to play, though. I mean, I feel like most teams know at least a little bit of what you're supposed to do with Cafe, especially since it's a map that its meta hasn't really changed that much in the last couple of years. And that's part of one of the reasons I think a lot of competitive players, pro scene players, they sort of complain about it, is it's a sort of a boring map to watch because it's the same thing every time. It's a lot of going in to the top floor, doing like full map clears, that sort of thing. I'm going to be getting into the game right in a second here. As soon as everything is ready to go, we can see this one.
All right, there we are.
Let's see who they're going to ban. Who do you think is first to be banned?
I think a Fenrir ban on defense definitely, but on attack, I'm not really sure. Maybe a Monty. Monty's been pretty good lately. DeKB, also very good ban for Cafe, making the roam clear easier. So that'll help for the Wildcard Aces defense.
Yeah, no surprise there, especially on a map this big, being able to kind of ping information on those roamers that are kind of nestled around the map. Very typical. And there's the Monty, just like you said, so they are taking that off. Yep. I'm gonna see on defense. You said Fenrir.
I think a Fenrir.
Solus for the other one. Or maybe a Valkyrie.
I think a zombie's probably more likely. Solus hasn't been without the impacts and the shortened timer. It's not really. Clash.
Didn't expect that, but ever since Fox, I had that crazy clip a number of months ago on Cafe where he clutched up. What was it, like a 1v2 or 1v3 with Clash?
I think so. Yeah.
Gotta get rid of Clash.
Clash is just super annoying to play against. That's fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Not super hard to counter, but really annoying.
Fenrir stays up. All right.
Fenrir and Azami. This is one of those cases where I think both teams want to be able to also use those characters. So as much as they maybe wouldn't want to have to play against them, they have strats that rely on having at least one of those operators. Because Azami on third floor in like Cigar Lounge, creating all sorts of really hard angles for the people in the windows to contest. Just a really common thing to see here.
Yeah.
But not even getting brought. Switched off, was Azami, switched to Vigil.
It's a pretty interesting defense line. I don't think I've seen anything really like it before. The Wamai's probably going to play Pixel, I guess, with a mute jammer on him. Goyo, I guess, would be putting his canisters down in Cigar.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
We'll see where they end up going.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, so Reed, I thought it was the top floor. Okay, that just makes a little more sense.
They still probably will have someone Pixel though, or at least in that Cigar area, Cigar Pixel. somewhere around there. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be Vigil or if they will have their Ramai over there, but we'll see. They also could put Goyo or Frost, because both of those characters, you know, you place your gadget, they're more than free to run around, and when they die, they're not really losing that much utility since their gadget's already all on the ground.
Before insertion.
Vigil also running the Boss G here. Probably playing some
5 seconds to go.
You know, I've been in the last couple times I've casted, every single time Vigil's been played, the Boss G has been brought, and at first I thought it was just someone being goofy, but it's actually kind of meta now. You bring the Boss G, the SMG 12 secondary is a lot more controllable than it was years ago. People really like it. I'm no longer seeing Vigil's primary SMG be brought, so it's the Boss G, which is fun. I like seeing the Boss G.
Well, Maya Cocktail trying to keep the vertical play from happening. Vigil coming up around there, playing Pillar. Watching for Christmas entry. 3 guys stacked up over there.
Vigil just making his presence known. These shots are just kind of there. He's just scaring these guys, telling the attackers that, hey, I'm here. You're gonna have to throw me out. You're gonna have to do something about it. You can't just keep, you know, walk in completely unencumbered. And he's just firing these shots. None of them connecting, but that's perfectly okay. His main goal here is to delay time. If he can find a pick, that's good for him. But right now, he's just looking to see if he can't find something. He's baiting out these flashes. He's getting these drones. He got a boogie drone from Ram to go in. And right now, the attack, they're still just waiting. They're dumping utility, but they're eventually just going to push the envelope. They're going to push straight into sight. The drop is going to be predicted, but the gun is just not going to be on target there. Frost is going to get some of those Goyo canisters. Pop up. It's a bit of a bloodbath right here in sight. All of a sudden, it's down to 2v3, favoring Wildcard Aces. Again, even out to 2v2. Still a minute 30 left on the clock.
What was that?
This is a bit of a... They saw an opening, they took it. It didn't quite work out for them. They lost their footing. I think there was that important kill where someone dropped into laundry from the laundry hatch.
The Frost, I think.
Yeah, the Frost dropped there, and I believe Buck was holding that angle, anticipating a drop, anticipating someone in there, and just didn't connect. And there were just a number of gunfights that just went a little awry there for Dolly. And yeah, ultimately it cost them that. They sacrificed their safety for a direct assault on site, and you know, it came around to bite them in the back.
Going Fireplace Mining here, that's an interesting sight to see. I think it's normally the off-site in most pro play. Interesting to see how this one
Defenders, protect your bombs from being used by attackers.
Going straight to the Capcan. Once again, another operator who, in the last number of times I've casted, Capcan usually comes out pretty late in the defense. Because the defenders like to try and give the attackers sort of a sense of security. Like, you don't have to check the doors. They haven't been bringing Capcan, and then you bring Capcan out maybe in your second to last defensive round. You set up those traps, and the attackers aren't checking those doors because they haven't had to do it for the whole match, and then they hit them, and that's where you get a lot of easy picks as Capcan. But Capcan coming out right now, going to try and, I think, lurking around on the first floor, so maybe put some of those charges down on the first floor, catch some attackers as they're doing a quick map clear. But
attackers
it looks like they had a successful window up in Cocktail, but I don't know how that's really going to stop any vertical plays if that's on kind of the other side of the map, and it doesn't really have any good lines to above the BGS side.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah, it more covers that Cocktail area. The bar
so if they do want to drop, Skylight, I guess, would.
Yeah, you're right. The mirror itself isn't going to actually give them a huge amount of control over Cigar, where I think a lot of the attackers who are going to be doing vertical, they'll be, you know, congregating around that Cigar area, opening up the floor. They did bring a Ram again to do just that, send those boogie drones in through the windows and start chewing things up. And that's what you're hearing right now. That very noisy chewing sound is one of those drones just absolutely decimating the floorboards.
Hatch is already open. I guess that's intentional.
This is something you see a lot on Cafe. It's just this window play, but all of these long angles opened up through these soft floors just means that these guys on the windows have a lot to look at. It's really difficult for them to find an easy pick here because it could be from almost anywhere on the third floor with how far these angles stretch out, and that's what we're seeing. We're just seeing a great pick though. Rin does go and find Anti. A great flip onto Teddy, so giving them 2 for the opening. A third almost. Oh, get the down and the pick. Build-A-Bear ultimately getting that kill, but Rin with an excellent opening to take most of third floor control. They're still trying to scare off Abinai. A couple answers back though, but Joyful keep making sure that Dolly fans stay man advantage here. But Abinai with another great pick on that SMG-12. He's doing some work here on that Vigil, and we're going to be left 2v1. It's going to have to be a clutch coming out from Abinai to find these remaining 2 attackers, and there's a minute and 15 left.
Yeah, it's not looking great for Abinai right now. All alone, often reading with the plant going down. They just have to watch their angles, and yeah, watching the feet holes there on red. And oh my god, beautiful flick onto the...
Coverage is good for Rin though.
Coverage is good.
Abinai hitting some crazy shots with that SMG-12. I mean, like I said earlier, it is easier to control than it was a couple years ago, but it's still a pretty rough gun. Its recoil has a lot of buck to it. It's not something I'd be super confident with, but he was finding heads with it. He just couldn't find that last one. Great attempt though.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a really aggressive game here. The way that Dolly's definitely been playing. And it'll be interesting to see how it changes on defense, if they're going to play a bit more laid back or just keep going on that offense, really.
Yeah, I like that you noted that, because the last 2 rounds we've seen most of the lobby be dead by the minute 30 mark, which is, you know, obviously not typically how Siege games go, but both of these teams are just really gunning it right now. Dolly fans are pushing the envelope. I like that sort of aggression on attack to just sort of cut through all of the util gameplay and just go straight for the kills. That can be a really effective strat sometimes, but Wildcard Aces have been no slouch. They've really been standing up for themselves and kind of matching them, going toe to toe with that same level of aggression and really holding on to that third floor, really playing those flanks that Abinai was playing on Vigil. I've been enjoying it. It's been fun to watch. It's exciting.
Yeah. It looks like Wildcard's noting it as well. Going a lot of traps there, except for the Wamai. All of these operators traps and anti-rush focus. So it'll be interesting to see how Dolly clears them, if they even do, before they get into sight.
And not only are they anti-rush, but it's gadgets that you then place down, and once again, it's a set and forget. You can kind of just go and do whatever. I mean, Wamai and Legion, obviously their gadgets generate with time, so you don't want to die too early, but everyone else, it kind of gives you a lot of freedom to play sort of how you want. What is going on here? They're already starting this engagement really close in by Bakery. Once again, just talking about that aggression. We're seeing Abinai, the fragger out from the last game, trying to find a pick, but pressure is good. He gets killed. At least an answer back from Teddy, though, actually gets the opening pick. Abinai is finally finished off, so they do manage to get him. This is like a ranked game right now.
Yeah, big loss there as well, since most of his utility hasn't been generated yet. Oh my goodness, with a Nitro from Piano. Empty.
Struggling to cast. It's so fast. Everyone's just throwing themselves
I don't know what's happening.
The situation. Rin with another great pick. He's just so good at walking into these things and just finding the picks when they need to. It's going to be on the remaining 2 defenders here. They are now, once again, down 1 in terms of man count, so they have to clutch up a little bit here. A lot of their gadgets, I think, a lot of the traps may have already been expended in that sort of explosive initial push. I saw a couple Doyo canisters get popped. There goes another one right now, and it's really just Dolly fans using their drones and using their utilities, slowing down and finding out where these remaining 2 defenders are so they can play this safe.
Empty is looking strong here in code, though. Could deny plant if it starts to go down. No Nitro, though, so if they start planting behind something, that's really it. Pushing up to go. Ashton managed to get the kill. V1 seeing these head holes.
Defenders have eyes on the diffuser. Attackers need to protect it.
It's all up to Emilio here. Has to find 2. Has the flank, can find 1. Now they know where he is. He can't get the other one. It's Rin once again to finish things off. Rin's been oh so good for these first couple of rounds and has found quite a few kills, especially some really important clutch ones right at the end of the round in that post plant, which really doesn't even feel like a post plant because it's more the diffuser goes down and then the post plant is wrapped up in the next 5 to 7 seconds. So it's just how quickly everything is going here. But Dolly fans do take 2 on defense. They took 2 on attack, so now they're going to defense as we're now in the new quarter system. So they're going to be on defense. So we're going to see if this map is just favoring attackers today, and Wildcard Aces are going to bring that same sort of aggression that they were facing from Dolly fans, or if Dolly fans are going to be able to stand a bit stronger on defense. I'm curious to see.
Yeah, Joyful's running the dock here, so that's probably going to be for a spawn peek. It'll be interesting to see where he goes for it, but I just have a feeling that that's definitely it. Yeah, Ashton probably going to play that cigar cano area with his zombies to try to keep them from moving forward. And finally now as well, we see the top floor site, the bar cocktail, which normally is the first site played, but I guess Wildcard just doesn't want to.
The dock could also be brought just once again to match that same sort of aggression. Like, you probably will go for a spawn peak, but it's also, you play dock so you can just take every engagement, you can swing everything, and if you get lit up, you can heal yourself back up or heal your teammates if they're also swinging. It's just, he's an operator that facilitates this really aggressive gunfight heavy sort of gameplay that we've been seeing from Dolly, that Wildcards have also been doing a little bit themselves. In terms of the roster they're bringing, it's not quite the type of roster that you'd expect for an explosive push, but we're already seeing it. The cigar,
like you said,
window is getting contested.
Take every gunfight and then just heal right back to full.
Fortunately, they didn't do much damage to the side of Wildcard Aces, so having to expend those
stim shots early
stims, not the most useful. You would have liked to get a kill or do a ton of damage onto someone. Abinai, though, only taking 18 points of damage. Not a huge amount. Not nothing, but nothing to worry about.
Yeah, it's looking like a lot more slow of an attack here from Wildcard than we've been seeing from Dolly fans. The Forest Drones are coming in and clearing out everything in piano, so that's very useful. Push is coming in. 3 have dropped the red hatch, and are swinging the head holes now into freezer.
Beezer did find the opening pick here. It was onto the Ash. So that's a good start for Dolly fans. Meanwhile, Wildcard Aces, they've all dropped. They're just still kind of poking and feeling, though, trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. They haven't pushed in super aggressively, but with these Quanta Hives going down from Grim, that could be what we start to see. They're just cutting off some angles. We are going to see one go get a kill onto Joyful, but Beezer still good with his gun, answers back, finds a second on the round to keep Dolly fans up in man count. Another great swing from Beezer, despite the fact that those Grim Hives are pinging his location.
Oh my goodness!
Gorgeous headshot just like
going
that.
For the ace.
Oh my gosh. I want the ace now here. Let's see it. It's close. He has him. Oh,
Ashton takes it.
Ashton.
What a shot there. Oh my god.
That was a great just flick, clean headshot. Love to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that attack was definitely a lot slower, I think, than, or not a lot slower, but it was slower and more planned out than the attacks from Dolly fans. But I guess Dolly just kept that aggression on defense. They weren't exactly pushing everything, but they were definitely swinging things, you know?
Yeah, it was still a very active defense. They were contesting a lot of stuff, which, you know, maybe it's just the name of the game today is swing everything, contest everything. Let's get this done nice and quick, finish every round a minute ahead of schedule, and, you know, you can be done by the time dinner's ready.
Yeah, okay, so we're seeing a first floor defense here now. We have the Vigil not running Boss G this time, so that'll be finally get to see the K1A brought out. Looking like Wamai's gonna be playing here in the bakery, so his guy, you know, charging over time. That'll also be great there. Hopefully he doesn't die earlier like the Wamai on Wildcard Aces did that third round. Just being able to keep his utility growing and keep going over time.
10 seconds remaining.
So just watching to see if Wildcard Aces are going to finalize their operator roster here, because it looks like in order to match the aggression that Dolly has really been bringing, they're going to bring that Ying, bring those Candelas. That would really allow them to just flash in, push off of those things, can do a ton of stuff for you.
And they did swap from an ace to a thermite there, so it looks like if they do get breach open, they'll be able to sprint through it easier, which could be the thought process behind that. But Can't say entirely. This could be even for rotating towards white, maybe to try to get the freezer.
There is going to be certainly a bit of roam presence for Dolly, as they have both a Warden who can really work against these Candelas, which, by the way, are going off right now. They're heading in through prep. It's going to be slightly stemmed, though. It's going to stop. They're not going to push all the way into kitchen yet because they didn't find an opening pick. So I think they don't want to.
They did manage to get that bakery, though, and they're getting the wall there.
That's big.
You could see some Candelas thrown in here in a rush.
It is Ashton to find the first one, and he takes down that Ying. So those Candelas, not going to see a whole lot more use, but immediate trade from AIMT does find one onto Beezer. The Warden is going to be taken down. Not fully finished out, though, so possible res can happen, but the aggression's probably going to make that not possible. That Banshee's just going to slow him down. Warden will be finished off by AIMT. So now that's man advantage swung to the way of Wildcard. For the first time in what feels like a little bit, they have a chance to take site and continue pushing on for maybe a plant. Waltz goes down. AIMT finds another onto Ashton. All of a sudden, it's going to be up to Joyful here. Plant's going down, and he's going to have to clutch it up.
And I just don't think it can. I mean, site's blocked off. There's no head holes. He has to push in through either bake there or into kitchen, and yeah, just not going to happen. A good attack there by Wildcard. Bringing it back for, what, their second round? Yeah.
Yeah, that's their second round on the map. Yeah, it was a really solid attack. I liked how they used the Candelas, gave themselves a little bit of room in that prep corridor, but then didn't fully explode onto site because they knew that there would be a Warden watching who would have resisted the Candelas. There would have been other guns all aimed at them. They just did that to clear prep. They then opened the bakery wall onto kitchen, and they were able to have this really aggressive two-pronged approach that Dolly fans just they couldn't resist. They saw the holes, they tried to peek them, and they got shut down pretty unequivocally. Almost every gunfight went the way of Wildcard Aces right there. But really like what I saw from them. I liked that aggression. I liked that pace of the attack.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
You know, yeah, it was just a really textbook. I don't really know what to say about it. It was a good attack. Coming up to the second floor here again, dining, reading. No Goyo is brought, so if Wildcard does want to do the same rush that Dolly fans did that first round, nothing's really stopping them. They could hit a gun onto that castle and then just walk in. It looks like only one Nitro as well. No traps really besides the Frost, and honestly, I wonder if Wildcard is actually going to rush this.
10 seconds left before insertion.
If they do decide to, it'll be pretty easy for them.
5 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, I mean, they could totally just explode through that castle and try and take everything. Obviously, I don't know if I would say it'd be easy. Dolly has also been good on the answer back in terms of being able to win out their gunfights. Even though they didn't win them out last round, the 3 rounds that they've already won kind of attest to their skill mechanically. But I would not be surprised to see them just try and explode through that castle and take site and push a plant. As you said, there is only one Nitro on the board in the hands of Rin, or the pockets of Rin, so there's not a whole lot of plant denial to be had, as planting has not really been that important. Even we have seen a couple plants go down, they haven't been particularly impactful or important sorts of plants. And Ebony finds Ashton, don't even know where, don't know what's going on, but on par for how this game has been going to see Jaeger get killed that early on.
Yeah, I mean, it also looks like I don't think they're going to play very much vertical here because they don't have a buff, they don't have a sledge. Ash could maybe, but no ram, no buff, no sledge. It's looking like it's going to be a horizontal take at least here as well from Wildcard. Going in through mining there, trying to take train, and then just going dining to plant, I guess.
Someone spike every single player's coffee this morning with some like caffeine supplements to boost them, because everyone is just so antsy. Everyone is peeking every single thing. I love it. It's so much fun to watch. And we're seeing right now Emilio push all the way into train, looking for this Goyo. Ultimately will find the pick onto Joyful, so that's giving them a direct access onto the A site. They do have to worry here though. Beezer can open up that wall with that secondary shotgun and then play the long angle with Castle's UMP-45, which is a really solid strat to do, but it's a fairly easy thing to counter if you're on attack. You just send someone upstairs, send them towards white stairs. You can really easily pressure that castle and find an easy opening pick. That's exactly what they have. They have someone on this window. I don't think this rappel is going to work out. Absolutely
with
not.
diffuser.
What do you rappel win with
oh
diffuser?
My!
Oh my god, this is a ranked game.
I thought this was a wild card round for sure, and then they had good control of train. They had good control of mining. They had the man advantage, and then he swung in with the diffuser into white.
Rin and Beezer both find another one to give Dolly a pretty solid grasp on this round. Rin with a third, or a second there, sorry. Gets found out. Teddy can't find him, so that evens things out. 40 seconds because this game has just been so fast, but they know where each other are. So this engagement probably going to be happening pretty quickly. We have to move things along if you want to try and get Diffuser back or find both of these kills. Teddy knows one person's probably hanging out by Diffuser. He knows another one's over in that cigar lounge area because that's where he got shot from. He still has a couple of these Lion scans, which can be good, but not executing on them. So he just uses it, doesn't get any pings, doesn't really force any play. Time's dwindling out. This is just going to start going the way of Dolly fans as the clock plays for them.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I just cannot believe what I just saw. The rappel in with Diffuser to top white when you know there's a guy on white stairs. Without even flashing. I think he had Candelas in pocket. He could have Candela'd. He knew there was a guy on white stairs.
Like, I wouldn't have been that mad if he just went in and died, but it's the fact that he had Diffuser. Send literally anyone else up to that window. Have the person with Diffuser
or even
be in a safe spot. Yeah, or just drop it. Just let it fall down outside. Wow. Strange play.
Another thing that he could have done if he really wanted to clear this guy on white stairs is just go around and go onto the ventilation that looks in through the white window. He could have just watched up there. His team could have gone in. They could have gone to site. Castle can't really swing it because there's a guy watching the window, and that would have worked way better. For repelling in. I mean, sure.
I think that level of strategy isn't something these teams are incapable of. We totally can, and I have seen Wildcard Aces bring that level of strategy, but it's something that right now, here today on Cafe, we are just not seeing. We are seeing really fast, very aggressive, very kill-oriented gameplay. Something that's not quite as much focused on creating cutoffs or pressuring defenders in a specific way. It's more just like, we droned, we see an opening in sight, we're gonna try and punch through that opening as fast as we can.
Yeah, I think the first couple rounds really just set the tone, and Wildcard, they got rushed, and they were like, you know what, we're just gonna rush them back. And yeah, I think Wildcard might have wanted to do a slower laid-back game, and then they're seeing Dolly fans play more aggressively, and they're like, okay, we just have to play more aggressively ourselves. And we'll see how it pays off for them. I don't know.
Dolly
back on
back
defense though.
On attack, yes. That's and
oh,
that's
sorry,
when they really. That's when Dolly really set the tempo, right? Was when they started off on attack. They really set this super fast, aggressive tempo. So I'm curious to see if they're going to bring that same sort of speed, or if they themselves maybe want to slow down. They have the lead right now. It's 4-2. But they want to at least eke out a couple of rounds in this attacking quarter here, because then when they go to defense, they can play safe. They can try and force a win in regulation. But if they play aggressive here, they could fall into some of the Wildcard's traps. That Fenrir coming out this late is a really good pick, because once again, Dolly hasn't been expecting it, so that Fenrir could catch a lot of them off guard. But speaking of catching them off guard, Joyful is in freezer here. He does get caught out. I was going to say, I don't know if the members of Wildcard know he's there. Emilio certainly does, finds his head. So that's not the opening you want for Dolly, and it gets bad, and it gets even worse, I should say, as Emilio finds another onto Beezer.
Yeah, and another from Emilio. Oh my goodness, he's good for 3. Looking for 4 in the bar. Swinging out by the door. It looks like a teammate got it from below. Oh my. Wow. You know, I mean, this Fenrir, it's not looking great for Scotian here. Teddy leaving the game.
Interesting play, Teddy.
Interesting play from Teddy there. I guess we might have to pause and wait, or...
No, yeah, we'll let him get some time to come back in. It was most likely a disconnect. It happens all the time. I'm sure Emilio is a good player, but in that situation, it was just, Emilio, fire at this same angle 3 times and you'll get 3 kills. And he's like, okay. Because the attackers didn't do anything. They were like, oh, I died in freezer. Someone's over in that cocktail hiding behind that specific bar. Well, you guys should go do something about it. I'm going to peek it from the exact same angle. And they did that 3 times. Once again, I think people...
if it works, it works.
If it works, it works. And no shade to the defense. I mean, he's just taking advantage of an obvious fault in the attacking strategy. But yeah, I mean, this is clearly a match where there's not a whole lot of thinking going on right now. It's a lot of just vibing with your guns out, which not criticizing. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I think both teams probably do excel at that. I think just Wildcard at first wanted to play a little more slow, wanted to play a little more tactically, and then just didn't. And I guess now that the pace is set, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, especially after a tech pause, that can kind of let people cool down a little bit, take some wind out of the sails here. So maybe after this tech pause, we're gonna see things slow down just a
see
tad.
the momentum stop.
Just because nothing's been. We haven't seen a whole lot of success come out from Wildcard on attack, so they're on defense right now. What they're doing is working, and if I'm Dolly, I have to read this and be like, well, we're not going to be able to, or we can beat them when they're attacking, but we want to try and get at least 1 or 2 rounds here while we're attacking. So they need to change something. They need to kind of slightly alter their strat if they want to get those 1 or 2 rounds in this attacking corridor, because that's what will give them that regulation win. Is if they just lose all 3 of these attacks here, it's probably going to be looking like an overtime. But
oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I think Dolly's definitely going to take 1 of the attacks at least. I don't think they're going to lose all 3. But who knows? Maybe Wildcard now, they're expecting the aggressive playstyle. They're expecting Dolly to just swing everything. And
10 seconds to
who knows? Yeah, Dolly might even lose all 3. I don't think it will, but could happen.
5 seconds left.
Back down to the first one here.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that the way they win their attack is they either just are aggressive again and they find an opening and it works, or they have to change their tempo. They have to take something a little more methodical, focus on creating cutoffs, on applying pressure to isolated roamers, that sort of thing. Not sure if they want to do that, though.
And we're back to the first floor here. Wildcard bringing out the tuber route and the Cade. It looks like they're going to try to keep that wall from being open. Although it doesn't look like Dolly has any hard breach. I can't tell. Striker might have hard breach charges. I can't really tell. But besides that, it doesn't look like they're going for any balls here.
Which we have seen the thermite be used a little bit, but honestly, it's not super surprising to not see any hard breach, just because once again, everyone has just been forcing their way into site through any way possible. This is a bit of a dangerous play here. As okay, I thought that Frost, I thought Waltz was going to be close enough there to catch out Joyful as Joyful was hopping out that window, but
I mean, he got a bit of damage in, or Emilio did, I guess.
Didn't end up happening. Honestly, this is the slowest the round has gone so far. No one's dead, and you know, we're past the 2-minute mark. Or
you might be speaking a little soon. It looks like they're going through VIP here, trying to force out whoever's playing in there. And there Fenrir goes. Bear getting the first pick onto Abunai.
Honestly, not a bad pinch from Dolly there. That was a decent amount of pressure coming from different areas. So that's sort of what I was talking about. They needed to create a more conventional and robust network of applying pressure and information that you see from really high level teams in order to isolate individual roamers and punish them. That's exactly what they did there to Abunai. They had man advantage. They managed to play it safe enough to where none of them got traded out. Teddy does find a pick onto Rin, but that's kind of a different engagement. That wasn't an immediate trade. And to keep it going, Beezer does find one onto Walt. So that's Dolly fans with still the advantage going into the final minute here.
Yeah. It looked like it was almost a good flick by Waltz there, but it just fell. It went a bit over. So, unfortunately, they lose the man in coat there. Big push here, though, looks into Freezer. If coat control, those head holes are going to be difficult for the defense to manage. Emilio managed to hit one up to Scotian. Two-brow just waiting, I guess. Ashton might not know that he's... Never mind. I spoke a bit too soon. Two-brow's back up, throwing one of the canisters.
The longest the match has taken. We're going into the last 30 seconds for what feels like the first time this whole map, and it's going the way of Dolly. It's really going to be up to AIMT. He has to find Beezer and Ashton. Joyful is down, and Joyful got picked up by the Finka, the Adrenal Surge. Nice perk of having that there, and finds a pretty immediate sort of cross angle to prevent the defenders from performing any sort of retake. So Dolly fans do take their attack, and it came off of what I think I was talking about, of being a bit more slow, of taking your time, of using your resources, and of really isolating the one-on-ones, in which case you can then make it unfair and, you know, stack 3 people against 1 defender. And it's not a one-on-one for the defender. It's a pretty unfortunate case for the roamers like Abu Nai there in VIP. But overall, really well played by Dolly. They put themselves 1 round away from match point. They have 1 more attack here before they go on to defense. It's looking pretty solid for them.
No, it definitely is. And I think Wildcard definitely expected there to be more of a bakery take there because they had the Cade, they had the Tuberau. I think they were planning on working together to deny any walls opening, but they just used the Ash Charge on the soft freezer wall. They went in through there. I don't think Wildcard really expected that. I think they expected a rush coming in from base, but expected wrong, I guess. Coming back to the top floor here, we see the Goyo, Solus, and Azami. Goyo going to be watching those drops. Solus is going to be probably playing below and towards reading or mining, and then Azami just cigar, piano, pixel, just holding all of that down. Maybe Wamai actually, sorry, even playing pixel.
Attackers have discovered the location.
I believe we saw Wamai playing pixel earlier, and I think it might have been Emilio. It was Emilio when Emilio got that very disgusting,
crazy 4K.
Yeah, that with that crazy peek into that 1-tap headshot. I think it was. He was on pixel playing as Wamai, so something he's very comfortable in, something he's very dangerous in. You're gonna want to avoid pixel in general. You just, you know, never. If the enemy team has a good pixel player, just avoid it at all costs. Attack any other side because you can lose everything there. It's such a hard area to contest sometimes. Just looking at the attack, we're seeing what looks like could be another sort of aggressive push. Because look, Beezer already in pretty quietly too. Going to put a charge right here, opening up the floor to try and get some people on a cocktail. Going to scare him a little bit. Not going to find anything rather immediately, but he has the read on somebody.
That frost.
Almost finds it. AIMT, however, on the other side of the map, does shut down one on Joyful, so that's the IQ taken up. That's not the biggest util loss, because really, if you look at this roster, it is a roster that emphasizes the execute, and that's one of the people you didn't want to lose. Rin on the Lion, taking away those scans is a big loss. Meanwhile, there's a flank going on. Wildcard aces are just all over the map playing this really squirrely, you know, you just cannot be pinned down. And Dolly, I think, are going to struggle here to organize themselves and to find a solid footing to mount a comeback.
You know, Empty here on white, looking to stop that Ash from walking up and managing to swing and get that kill. Yeah, these are going down. It's a 2v5. I don't know if Dolly can bring this back. They definitely can, though. Minute and a half left. Anything could happen.
Lots of time. They can cut off flanks and everything. You know, they have Nomad. They already have some air jabs down. Finka can heal themselves back up, which is pretty solid here. But these are going to be some tough gunfights to take. You can find one, not the other, though. The double peek is too good, and it's Emilio in that same sort of area, finding yet another pick here. Going to make it all on to Ashton. Good pick there onto Abinai, though. Nice little headshot, but 3 more to find under a minute. Once again, it's possible, but it's unlikely here, especially with those prox alarms just giving the position away, with those Goyo canisters quite literally burning time away. It's going to be a tough fight, but lots of angles have been opened up as part of this defender strategy, so Finka can find some stuff, can shut down Wamai, has to win out 2 more engagements, doesn't know exactly where they are, only the general location, and Frost almost misses the first set of bullets, but the second volley does find Ashton as Waltz manages to prevent the clutch and win out that round there for Wildcard Aces.
Yeah, it looked like there was like a fort there, the Azami set up in piano on the chairs, and it looked like there was like a very small pixel that they were watching through it. I think if they just held that, and you know, the Azami would have kept their life, but they took the round anyways, and they played well. Yeah,
that was probably one of those situations where Azami had the safety angle, and they're just like, Frost, play it however you want. I can like play time, and time was already quite low there, so they had it pretty safe, but they ended up taking that win, making it back to a 1-point game. Dolly's still in the lead, but they did, Wildcard did prevent Dolly from obtaining match point. And now Wildcard are on attack. So once again, the ball's in their court. They really have to drive the tempo of these rounds now. It's going to be a bit more difficult. They really have to step it up, because on attack, they haven't been thriving as much. They've really found their success mostly on defense, whereas Dolly's had a solid split. I think Dolly has found a number of rounds on attack, either 2 or 3 on attack, and then, you know, obviously vice versa, 2 or 3 on defense. So they've been a bit better split in terms of how their attacking prowess and their defending abilities have been matching up with each other, whereas Wildcard, we're going to need to see a successful attack coming out here.
I think Wildcard can do it. They swapped off the Twitch to the Brava, or swapped off the Deimos to the Twitch to the Brava. Looking, I guess, to steal some of those ADSs or Malusis, or even the Fenrir's from the defense there. Empty keeping the ace, probably going to go for the red wall, just by ticket. And Buck and Ash open the hatches. It's looking like a good lineup here from Wildcard Aces.
Yeah, I always like a good Brava pick, especially when Fenrir is on the board. Brava is just a very, very powerful operator to counter Fenrir. So hopefully Wildcard Aces are going to be taking a book out of what led Dolly to get their most recent successful attacking round, which was slowing down, using your utility a bit more, gathering information, and pinching. And that's what, at least I see a Brava on the roster. I think they're going to be a bit slower. They're going to let those drones go and do their job. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore. I just caster cursed that Brava into the grave. Don't even know what happened. Don't know why you're peeking. Use your clutch drones, but no, died. Dolly fans take that opening pick, so.
What can you do, really?
That's not peek is what you can do.
That's fair. Oh!
What?
Buck had a great play there. He just had to keep shooting. 4 HP left. Ashen should be dead.
This is one of the most ludicrous games I've ever casted. This is insane.
I have no idea what's happening.
That poor Buck was just opening the hatch. Didn't even think someone was going to be there, I thought. And then someone happened to fall right in his lap. He was probably in the middle of switching from his master key to his rifle. Azami took quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
Insane win there for Azami to take that fight, to win it out.
That could be the... Never mind. I was going to say that could make the round, but... Oh, no, Ashen getting a trade there with the ace.
He managed to, yeah, they find at least one.
Oh my god.
But this is a tough hill for Emilio and Waltz to climb, especially they're just getting shot from everywhere. These Banshees are going off, giving away their positions, slowing them down. It's an easy swing for Joyful to shut down that one. And it's all up to Waltz, repelling on this window. Impact's going to chip away a little bit of damage. Not much, only 8 points of HP, but it's more so just, you look at the clock. The clock's playing for Dolly right now. Swapped teams. Yeah. So this is a tough fight. Almost certainly looking at Dolly going up on match point with a 2-round buffer to try and win this thing out in regulation. And they just look good on defense, but they did have some pretty weird plays come out that kind of helped them win this one for sure.
I think Walt's probably just taking this, maybe get a pick or two, but just to talk about with the team about what's going on, what can they do, and yeah.
I mean, the Buck losing it to the Azami.
That's just rough. That is just horrible luck.
I feel for Wildcard there. That is just unlucky. It's just the spread of the shotgun. Sometimes, the roll of the dice doesn't favor you. Yeah. The thing I will keep hammering them there for, why do you have Brava peeking Skylight? Get those clutch drones. Brava can peek Skylight all she wants once she's used her clutch drones and once her utility has been expended. Then you can play a bit more recklessly, but use that utility, slow down, gain intel, convert some enemy gadgets. What's the point of peeking in angle, which honestly, peeking Skylight is just something that every Siege player does because it's there and we're going to do it. It really poses very little tactical advantage until you're in like a site execute or a post plant scenario and you're trying to prevent sort of rotates or cutoffs. That's the only time you should really be peeking Skylight.
Yeah, it's incredibly high risk, incredibly low reward. I don't know why Bravo would think to do it. I thought it was going to be a slower round. I thought it was going to be a little more tactical. I guess not. I mean, it could have stuck tactical if Bravo hadn't died there, but we'll never know. You see the first 4 defense now coming back out. Abunai teasing the blitz there for a second, then swapping over to IQ, then to Ace. 2 hard breaches. They could be going for both sides, maybe. They could have someone going Bake and someone going Freezer side. I'm not sure why else they would want 2 hard breaches. Or maybe just make some noise with the aces or distract.
I think you're right. I think they're gonna do a 2-pronged push. The other reason to bring 2 is just with how this match has been going with opening picks and spawn peaks and whatnot. The fear of losing your hard breach is slightly diminished if you have a second one that you can still use in case the first one dies.
You know, safety picks are also definitely that makes sense too. Like, Brava not swinging in just yet, using drones.
Good job, Bravo.
I feel like
I do want to highlight we've been so focused on the immediacy and the action of these rounds because they have been so action packed, but I haven't really looked too much at the stats. Beezer has gone nuclear here. He's doing a very good job. 14-6 is a great stat line for a player, especially when your team has been moving so aggressively and that's been your primary way of winning. So doing a great job. It's Ashton though on the side of Dolly to get the first pick here, shuts down that nomad, which is rather unfortunate because, you know, if there's a roamer out and about, being able to keep those flanks protected is going to be that much more difficult now, and there's no immediate trade out of the side of Wildcard, so not boding well for a team that's looking to try and stay in here and not lose it. They do find one, but Rin is there to make sure an immediate trade back keeps Wildcard in the red here in terms of man count, as they're going to still be down one person. They lost one other person, but Emilio. Anti's back. Anti with another one. All of a sudden, what's Wildcard doing? They're taking control of this round.
And they still have that hard breach. Like you said, they have redundancies there. So the ace being taken out isn't as big of a deal as it would be without Teddy here on the thermite. So that is very good to keep. The wall 2 bakery is already open though. Cade is swinging it, just watching wedding. Nobody is there though.
No one's really moving. I appreciate the slowing down, getting your ducks in a row, but make this a proactive pause. Do something with it. Use your utility, find something. Don't just wait because you're waiting for someone to peek. Wait because you're setting up other stuff. You're waiting till everyone's in the right place. And oof, that's a tough fight to lose. But Rin is oh so good with that.
Was he not blinded there? Oh, and
just like that. Don't know if Rin was blinded. Doesn't matter. Rin's certainly not blinded for the second pick as he shuts down the final member of Wildcard. And Dolly just looked far too difficult to control here on defense. Meanwhile, their attack is also just far too aggressive to fully stem the bleeding. Wildcard can't muster up much of a response to Dolly's abilities here. And it was a really exciting game nonetheless, though.
Oh, it was incredible. Incredible game. Yeah. No, even though it was still super aggressive from Dolly, and it didn't look that way. It didn't look like it was as clear of a win from Dolly. There were close rounds and there was a lot of close play, but yeah, I don't know. It looked like a really, really good game.
There was a lot of chaos for sure.
A lot of chaos. Yeah.
Like I said, I'll stand by it. This did kind of feel like a ranked game at times with just how people were swinging everything so carefree. But it was super exciting and I loved watching it, and there were some absolutely insane plays. Hopefully the next best of one that we got coming up right after this for the round 10 of the qualifier will be just as exciting, maybe in some different ways. Maybe we'll see a bit more methodical siege, maybe not. Who knows? Only time will tell, but you'll be able to figure out the answer to those questions if you just stick around for a minute, because we'll be right here after this break.
Welcome to reality, there's no way back. Welcome to reality, there's no way back. Welcome to reality, there's no way back. Welcome to unrealization. We came prepared to kill the operation. It ain't fair, but I feel like we're the nation. So raise the flag and do the preparation. Welcome to reality, there's no way back. Welcome to reality. Can't fuck with that. Fucking beeping after aliens. We on top of the world, we the
sapiens. Do you understand massive complication there? Do you really think you know what I'm made of? My flow is so magical, I'm old, call me Gandalf. You can shine, but I'm about to go off. I don't wanna believe what I'm saying, but I cannot do this at all. Welcome to reality, there's no way back. 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 Welcome to reality, there's no way back.
I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend.
You know you left me lonely, I could tell them the whole story. It may take a couple hours, I've got time, let's get to chat. How could I explain the situation? Man, it's so damn complicated. Where do I start, where do I end? I should go back to bed. I'm going back to all the basics, teaching myself now how to erase it. It's like learning a whole new language, and I'm afraid, too scared to face it. I just want consistent clarity, but all my thoughts destroying me. Some peace of mind is all I need to get peace to all of my family. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. You think you are everything I need, but I'm gonna leave. try but can't get through to me. It's not you, yeah, it's always me. I close my heart to you, you see it opens up for nobody. It's been so hard to fall asleep. The weather always makes my nose bleed. Makes my nose bleed. It's so hard to believe that one day I'll feel peace. I want control over my life, I want that driver's seat. Yeah, it's not you that I need. You push me down when I'm weak. You were never there for me. Go pick up your keys and leave. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't lean and ask, don't play pretend. You think you're everything I need, but I gotta leave. Can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. Cause you think you are everything I need, but I gotta leave.
Came in and you're looking like a sign of grace. I know, but I can never match your name to face my fault. I didn't notice it was out of place. You painted fairy tales on the wall. Calling to the better of the halves of me. Please show me just a little bit of honesty. I'd hope I got a heart that I can salvage, but it's getting harder now to recall. Grace, I know, but I can never match your name to face my fault. But when I noticed it was far too late, you left a fingerprint on my soul.
Took a couple L's this week, it's been hard to get out of bed. She never looked that way at me, I swear she's fucking with my head. Take me far away from pain. Take me far away, far from yesterday. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. Darling, damn, you look beautiful. You're killing my heart, it's the usual. Killing my heart, it's the usual. All you do is waste my time. Done being a victim of your phony love. All you do is waste my time. All of your hypocrisy is killing me. All you do is waste my time. Done being a victim of your phony love. I'm not looking for a love story anymore. 'Cause honey, Romeo and Juliet were chemical. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. Darling, damn, you look beautiful. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. You're killing my heart, it's the usual. There's no signs of stopping now. As she stares at me from the ground, like it lives with him, just trying to tear me down. In this evil game, she's proud, living in my head rent free, knowing that she's killing me, she's killing me. All you do is waste my time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All you do is waste my time, yeah. All you do is waste my time, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not looking for a love story anymore. 'Cause honey, Romeo and Juliet were chemical. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. Darling, damn, you look beautiful. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. You're killing my heart, it's the usual.
Feelings, it's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took 'em all and made 'em yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic, no, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took 'em all and made 'em yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every
My city's gonna tell you the tale. Everyone was left in the veil. My time won't come to an end. Take a look around, it's a war zone. The damage is already done. Take a look around, it's a war zone. The damage is already done. Take a look around. And keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting for my life, so keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting. I'm bad to the bone. Got blood on my knees. I'm bad for my life, I'm fighting. Yeah, I'm bad to the bone. Got blood on my knees. I'm bad for my life, I'm fighting. The ash came burning down. No, you won't hear a sound. The screaming bottled within. Take a look around. And keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting for my life, so keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting. And I'll be fighting for my life, so keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting for my life, so keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting.
we never paid. Wanna be delivered to the I wanna be delivered to the heart.
All right, we are back for what is the final best of one here in the second qualifier for season 1 of the Blitz Gaming series. This is the final round, so it determines a lot because it's going to determine who is actually qualifying or not. And so we got on our hands today. We got a qualifier match because this is going to be important. We obviously won't know until the end of all the other matches exactly who qualifies, but we did choose one that does matter, and so we're excited to watch. We're going to be watching Kunai and Maniban. Looking at the teams. There's Retro, Gekyu, Dirty, Dexy, Demented. I casted these guys not too long ago. They played against Bakyu, or Byaku. That's what it was called. They played against them yesterday, and it was a really good game. Kunai looked exceptional. I haven't yet watched or casted a Maniban game, but they've been doing pretty well. Both teams, I think, are 6-9 in terms of their record. So both of them, once again, even skill. Got to watch out for them. Hopefully, aggressive, close game.
Yeah, I mean, with a lot on the line, we're gonna be seeing the best from both teams. They have a lot to lose here, and so they're both gonna be trying their damnedest to take the round and take the game and win.
Yeah, like you said, a lot on the line because right after this, we are done with the second qualifier, and we will be officially then into, not tonight, but we'll be officially into season 1 of the Blitz Gaming series. So this is a fight to see who gets that slot into this tournament. So both of these teams, like you said, they're really going to be fighting at this point. They shouldn't be saving any strats or hiding anything. This is your make it or break it moment, and they gotta win on this map. And speaking of maps, I don't yet know which map we're going to be going to, so I'm curious to see what that's gonna be. Bank.
Okay.
It's Kunai picking Bank. I believe Kunai have played Bank, but only once this tournament, and they did lose it. They lost it 4-7. So it's a bit interesting that they ended up picking Bank. And another thing about Bank, at least in my opinion, as someone who casts a lot of Siege, Bank looks like a map that you need a lot of coordination on attack to do well. It's a very big map. It's a lot of rotates and angles from windows and everything like that. And so it's one where, as an attacker, you need to have a lot of coordination with your team and a lot of knowledge of where they all are and what cutoffs apply to where to make things work. And so it's a map where teams make it or break it and show their mettle as an attacking force.
Yeah, and it requires a lot of coordination as well. Yeah, it's a lot of utility, a lot of DKB coming out here to help the roamers to be on that roam. So that'll be interesting to see. We'll probably definitely see a lot of roaming here. Bank, I think it's the biggest map in Siege, or the second biggest after Night Haven.
Yeah.
So a lot of roaming, and a lot of roam to clear. And DKB's out, so yeah. Ying, Monty ban, not banning Monty, banning Ying instead. So that's going to stop any rushes that Kunai or Monty ban want to do. And yeah, just forcing coordination, forcing droning, forcing team play.
On a map as big as Bank, Valkyrie is almost a given in being banned. Her cameras can just hide in corners tucked far away in the ceiling. It's really difficult to find unless you bring an IQ. And really, you don't want to have to bring an IQ just because the other team could be bringing a Valkyrie. It kind of feels like you're being forced to bring an operator whose utility can be somewhat limited. So I like the Valkyrie ban. It's very typical on Bank, as is the Azami one. There are just too many strong positions. The way that she can reinforce all of second floor site is really powerful, but also hold on to like stock in second floor, completely change the lines of sight in basement. Just super strong in terms of messing up kind of the typical expected angles you'd have as an attacker. So completely understandable why they'd want to get rid of her.
Yeah, and Quaz there in all chat, he looks pretty happy about the Azami ban coming out. Bringing out the Amaru, so it looks like, never mind, there will be some rushes if it's top 4. And no, it's a basement here, so probably going to swap off that Amaru, unless I guess they want to get quick site or quick map control of the third floor, and then play down from there.
I was gonna ask, do you think that Monty ban didn't ban Monty? Do they bring Monty?
It looks like they are bringing a Monty. Coco, yeah, bringing that Monty. And not looking like they're going to swap off. The Ace swapping off to the Thatcher, but the Amaru is being stuck, which is just a very interesting play.
Let's go.
Cade and Tubrow both brought. That's going to deny the hatches for a while. And time is the name of the game here. It looks like, yeah, it's all very good from both teams. Very solid lineups on both sides.
Yeah, Amaru, one of those operators that, you know, back when I really started watching Siege, wasn't super popular, but has since gained a fair amount of popularity as this sort of niche pick for very specific types of executes or for specific clears, which I love to see, because Amaru is always an exciting operator to see, but especially on Bank with how many windows there are, Amaru is really strong at just getting to those upper floor situations, so that's probably what we are going to see from him. Meanwhile, Monty is doing the typical Monty thing for a basement attack here. He's pushing through that dirt tunnel, going to start just poking and prodding at the person in server, going to put a little bit of pressure on them because they know that they have to clear that server person out. So just figuring out who's where, maybe bait out this Goyo canister too. Going to be baited out pretty quickly.
Oh, other one getting shot by a Twitch.
Yeah, that's going to prevent him from rotating back to site, which is kind of funny.
But Monty is alone here, so it's he can't really do very much. He just kind of can stand there, be a menace, have Tubrow shaking, but can't really do much besides that. Or honestly, with a shield buff now, could maybe even rush in actually. Shield now that they're buffed, they are all very good for offense. Landito managed to hit the opening kill onto the Goya. Luckily, his utility's already all been placed down, so nothing to really stress too much, as opposed to a smoke. Getting a second onto Tubrow before he's used any utility, so that's a big loss.
Yeah, a big loss for sure. Landito finding 2 picks that, honestly, I can see him finding the one. That second one he should not have gotten. So now you can see Kunai a little scared. They're going to just keep playing on this Mira, but things are going from bad to worse as Landito finds his 3rd on the round, shutting down Dexy. Now the rear attack is going to start happening, though, however, Demented will find the 1 pick. Dirty is going to find another one, so they are managing to pick up some picks here to at least bring things back a little bit. A C4 is going to be ripped, but not find a kill, unfortunately, for the members of Kunai. It's going to be up here to Dirty and Demented. They have to find 3 picks, but one of them is a Monty. So not a primary weapon, but difficult to kill. So 2 primary weapons up. Plant's going down. Monty's shield is on his back. They can't stop it. The flashes are coming out. The coverage is good, and the plant is down.
Smoke going for the rotate here. He would have been a lot more useful on site, but coming up blue, Hibana, does Hibana know that smoke is on that hatch? I don't think so. Manages to get the down, and then Monty going to finish the kill. After 2v1 on the diffuser, and I mean, in a 2v1 with Monty, it's always a very rough play. Drop shot coming out from the Hibana, and that's the round to Monty Van.
No, I liked a lot of what we actually saw from the attack there. They obviously got gifted 1 or 2 kills, especially Landito. They're finding kills that the defenders shouldn't be giving him. But what they did in terms of forcing objective and playing safe even when they had the man advantage, I liked a lot. I liked them getting the plant down. I liked them playing the Monty and using Monty's utility really well. And I think it honestly worked out. And so maybe, I have a theory here, Monty ban isn't a personal statement that they make about themselves. It's a warning and a bit of advice that you should do against them, because they're bringing Monty again. And Monty proved very successful for them. So maybe Kunai should have listened to Monty ban and banned Monty.
I think you may be right on that. I mean, especially on Bank, a map with so many angles and so much space to clear. Monty is very good because you don't have to drone. You can just kind of face check everything. Especially with the new shield rework, being able to turn the head while the shield is up. Very nice to have. So yeah, Monty ban, a warning that Kunai did not heed.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Nope, they did not, and they might get punished for it again unless they're cooking up a way to counter the Monty. And it looks like maybe Maestro could do some of that. You know, his shocks, I think, can go through Monty's shield. He will still feel the shocks regardless of whether you're hitting him in the back or you're hitting him on the safe side of that shield. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to stop a Monty. They aren't bringing smokes to potentially keep him away. There's no Goyo this time. They do have 1 C4, but it can be pretty difficult to make that C4 stick its landing and kill Monty, just with how he can easily position his shield in such a way to block most of the explosion.
I'm not sure about the Maestro shocks going through the shield. I think Clash definitely does. Okay. But still, yeah, if Maestro, or sorry, if Monty walks past one of the cams, Maestro still can get that back.
Recovered the bomb diffuser.
Hit Monty in the back with the shots, and Monty can't really do anything about it as he's full extended. Doesn't have a gun out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Monty will prove to be strong, I think, throughout the match. Yeah.
Until they figure out a counter for it. I mean, Kunai might take a little too long to get that counter up and running, in which case Monty Band can essentially abuse that lack of counter and just keep Monty going. But until then, or until something disrupts Monty Band's flow, yeah, that Monty can just keep walking in and doing stuff. Right now, he's not, though. Right now, they're doing a lot of information game. Monty's on drones outside. They have a Zero putting up those Argus cams to gain some sort of perspective in that large open ceiling area. They're just opening up windows. They're on windows, but they're not actively contesting a lot of stuff. They're just, once again, putting a little bit of pressure, letting the defenders know that they're there, but really not letting the defenders know exactly where the push is going to be coming from, what their actual game plan is, which I really like. This is a methodical and information-focused attack so far.
Yeah, it's a really big departure from the last game that we had, where by now the round would probably be over. And opening pick comes out from Lamai onto the Zero, or sorry, the Flores. Excuse me. I don't know where that was from. Maestro Kim getting this Monty as he tries to go up the spiral staircase. Monty going for it, cannot get it. Maestro turns the cam away just quick enough. And it looks like one is downed in lobby. Yes. Oh my.
A lot of people going down. The Monty not being super successful this time. Those Maestro cams doing their job, shocking Monty from the back, making him, he can't just face check everything when he has to be worried about all this electricity that's hitting him. And so he has to pull off the stairs to kind of take it a little bit slower. And in that time, the flanks come out. They punish everyone who's with Monty. They punish Monty himself. So now, if you look, it's just Pokey and Fire. They have to clutch up here, win against 3 remaining defenders. Then they don't have much time to do it. Their positions being given away by prox alarms. They're both they've been damaged, especially Pokey, who's less than half HP and will go down pretty quick, even to some of the more P-Suiter SMGs. And right there, Fire gets caught up by Dexy. A great trade back from Pokey, though, but with 15 seconds to find 2 people and have no intel on either of them, this is going to be damn near impossible.
5 seconds left.
5 seconds left and can't really go for the night. Manages to bring it down to a 1v1. Gets his pick, but unfortunately time runs out. And that is the one downside to spending a lot of time droning and getting that information, is that time defeats all.
Spend a lot of time. And then Monty, even when you're not droning, a Monty push is never fast. It can be quite efficient because, like you said, you don't have to drone as much. You can just face check with Amani, but he just moves slowly, and there's a lot of sort of back and forth as Monty tries to bait out things like impacts or smoke canisters or C4s. So it's not a super fast one, and that is something that if you're bringing Monty a lot, you do have to watch out for. You do have to keep an eye on the clock and make sure that you're getting what needs to be done on schedule.
Yeah. And then we're back down to the base with, I think, the exact same lineup as last time. The Smoke, Mira, Goyo, Tube, Kate. I wonder how they'll change, though, their play style, because last time Monty just kind of steamrolled. Monty went in, was a wall. Coco's probably the same guy playing it. He's going to probably do the same thing again. I don't know how they're going to stop it. A Legion would be nice to bring out, but I don't know.
10 seconds to go.
I wonder if they're going to dedicate someone to play servers like they did last time. It doesn't look like anyone's going there, and with a Monty pushing it, it's almost there's not a whole lot of reason to play servers. You might as well just forfeit it because Monty's going to be able to force you out pretty quickly anyway. So maybe that's part of their adaptation, is they have more of a roam presence that can flank and do a lot of damage to Monty's more vulnerable side.
Yeah, for sure. We see the drones coming out here into the server from the Monty. And now Monty, seeing that nobody's in there, just will slowly walk in. Never mind, it looks like Retro has taken behind the server racks there. And is playing back there again. A lot of above presence, but not a lot from the attackers.
Attackers have located a bomb.
That's another thing you tend to see with Monty-oriented attacks, is because they have the safety of the Monty, they tend to be very direct and just go straight to site. Maybe you'll see a two-prong one, but we haven't seen Monty Band really do a vertical clear yet, and this might be the round in which they learn that they're going to have to do that if that vertical pressure or if the vertical presence of the roamers is strong enough from Kunai.
And if they do go for that vertical clear, it looks like Kunai is very well suited for, with again the tube around the cave, just keeping those hatches closed down. But I do agree. I think it's going to be just a very direct take from the Monty Band. I think a smoke charge that just got shot out of the air there. And there we go. Tubrow keeps keeping the hatch closed. Managing to get taken out by Landito again. Menace on the Thatcher.
The pressure from him is really good too. The Monty coming in there and just unshielding a little bit to just keep scaring that server player, and then forcing that server player to eventually rotate back to site, wherein Landito can cut off that rotate. Really smart, really well played. A couple trades go back and forth, and now ultimately Quaz does keep Monty Band in the positive in terms of man count. So now they at least have 4 versus 3 coming into this final minute here. We're going to have to see and execute, and it might go down in the same sort of way. However, Kunai have kept up some more of those Goyo canisters. It kind of exploded some of theirs a little too early on in the round. The Twitch drones got a few of them last time they were here on basement, but now they've managed to keep them. So Monty's going to have a lot more trouble getting a successful plant off.
Yeah, they deny 15 seconds each Goyo canister and 10 seconds with the smoke. I don't think that it's going to be a very close plant, if it does even go down. I think they'll probably have 10, 15 spare seconds left and to get it down.
You can hear some of that fire burning right now. That's that time being ticked away. Another Goyo canister is still there that can be popped to really just delay this until the end of time. But a smoke is going to be smart. It's going to cover the mirror window. It's going to cover everything. But that C4 can be torn. Just that Velcro tear is enough to make the plant kind of get a little sketchy. But ultimately, Monty's shield does block it. The plant goes down. A great pick from Demented and evens things up. But with plant down, it's going to be a tough fight here for Kunai, who are going to have to retake onto site. They're sending 2 people upstairs to pull a full flank, and maybe this will work. But that, you can see the track stingers from Gridlock doing a little bit of work, forcing them to come through here into Archives, which they're going to have to announce their presence with a shotgun. They're going to get shut down real fast. Another couple of kills going all the way to Monty Band's side, though, as we see all of the kill feed ultimately come up blue. And what was a solid attempt at a top 4 retake, but there was just a little too much in terms of utility that the attackers had left up there, like those track stingers, that allowed them to play a lot safer and know exactly where the retake would be coming from.
Yeah, I think as well that smoke possibly went to that small office expecting the hatch to be open before rotating to the archive there. And it was just a very direct take there by Monty Band. Just that Monty pushing in like a wall, cannot do anything about it, standing there menacingly, and what can defense really do? I think the smoke charges as well, one of them got shot out of the air early on in the round, which with how much health that Monty had left at the very end could have made all the difference.
I want to say I liked what I saw from Kunai, because they did have some alterations to the exact same roster. They did have some alterations in how they played it to try and counter the Monty, but they just didn't end up working. They kept the Goyo canisters around more, but the smoke that blinded the Mira made it so they couldn't pop that last Goyo canister. They had the C4, but Monty wasn't the one planning. Monty could keep the shield fully extended to absorb the entire blast of the C4 and let someone else plant behind Monty. So while Kunai did bring out some small adaptations to counter Monty, Monty Band had a couple more tricks up their sleeve that they could deploy to offset those counters.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see any actual changes to the lineups themselves from Kunai next time they're on defense. Like bringing a Legion would be big, bringing an Echo as well. An operator that has not been seen a lot lately, but honestly, it's still pretty good for the shield meta.
We're also going to be doing some roam presence. You can see both Fire and Coco on some pretty roam-intensive operators with Vigil and Oryx, respectively. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult. It's just to draw out as much time. They're just going to be a nuisance around the whole map. Oryx will be dashing around quickly and going up hatches, while Vigil will just be absorbing drone stuff. And actually, no, that's not going to happen, because Vigil's going to die right away. Dexy finds that opening pick really quickly, so the time, what you would want as a roamer, is totally not going to get wasted. Quaz will be able to find one on Degekyu, so that's at least a trade there to keep things even to 4v4. But your roam getting shut down that quickly is rather unfortunate. Hopefully, we can see Coco kind of carry the roam a little bit. He's still on this Oryx. We're still also seeing Quaz on the upper floor as this mute, so still kind of doing a little bit of a mute roam as well. So the rest of the map not clear. They can't just go straight to site yet. They still do have to do a bit of work for everything else.
Yeah, and that just goes to show the difference in these two teams' attacking philosophies. I mean, Monty Band, very direct, very quick relative takes, just walking right in towards site, whereas it looks like Kunai is a bit more roam focused, clearing the roams, getting rid of the operators on the roams. That could be a nuisance later on.
And speaking of getting rid of operators, Quaz was taken out, so that now gets rid of one of the roamers. I'm not entirely sure where Coco is. I think Coco is back, has returned to site. So there isn't much roam presence here. Everything's been cleared out for this last minute. We can see Kunai have a relative safe moment here. They can just open everything up. They don't have to worry about flanks or anything like that. They can just start applying vertical pressure with what vertical pressure you can apply here on basement through these hatches, and they're going to start getting everything set up. But even though they have man advantage, time is ticking down, and that, like I always say, the clock is going to start playing for the defense.
And those Goyo canisters as well by the server, they're getting popped now. It's going to make it hard to enter in through server, although it doesn't look like Kunai is really even trying to. It looks like they're going for the hatches and they're going to drop down. Hopefully soon. Otherwise, yeah, like you said, the clock's going to play for the defense and win the round.
They do have some execute utility, though. They have some of those EMPs. They have all of these Capitao fire bolts, maybe some Capitao smoke bolts that they can still throw off. Some smoke grenades, I think, in the pocket maybe of Twitch still has some. So those are going to have to get used, but right now, you can see they're dumping all that utility. They're putting the plant down, but the planter's tucked in a little too close and can be taken off by a pretty safe angle. However, they do manage to down Pokey, so it's all up to Coco. And the plant going down in these last couple seconds, Coco has to make a move, but they know exactly where he is. Dexy gets the final blow. It was a little too close to comfort attack there, but they do manage to win it out.
And that was a good attack there from Kunai. I mean, the clearing the roams, the droning, the taking it a bit slow. It did come down to the wire, though. That clock waits for no man, and Kunai managed to beat it, though.
Just in the nick of time, but you're right. I do think that in terms of the attack, their roam clear was really solid. How they set everything up was really solid, and they set themselves up in a good enough position to where even though the clock was really close, they had enough utility, they had enough space that they were able to win out those gunfights and take the round.
Top 4 setup here coming out from Monty Band. It doesn't look like they're going to have the same roam presence that they had on the bottom floor. Although, who knows? They definitely could. Although it looks like most of their operators are very anchor focused. A lot of 3 armors or the Wamai, his gadget charges over time, so you don't want to roam him. You don't want to lose him early on.
10 seconds remaining.
But you know, it looks like everyone this round instead is just going to be very compact and close on site.
And not as, aside from the flanks up the staircases, there's not as much emphasis, I think, on roaming when you're holding on to second floor site because you can't play above. There's a real emphasis on the different power positions across the second floor, though. Over by banana, over by stock. Hell, even holding on to parts of top square is really important, depending on how you're doing everything. So, kind of interested to see exactly where they're going to place all of these different defenders across this top floor to prevent the takes. And interesting to see how Kunai's going to respond, because they're taking a page out of Monty Band's book and they're bringing that Monty to see if they can't give themselves some space with that.
There is no shield being run on the defense, so it is going to be interesting to see how they do manage to keep that stock, that top square, from people just walking in, really. They're going to have to take those gunfights. It's going to be a fair gunfight, which on the defense you should never really want. In that Kanto wall open, the Cade Claw managing to go down. Hibana's just on the rappel watching.
Cade Claw a little too late though, not going to be able to trick it, so that wall will get open, giving the person out on rappel a big line of sight in order to contest a lot of that second floor hallway from. You can see Tabana is just kind of up over there on the rappel, taking some damage though, so can't fully play that angle entirely safe. Does manage to at least pin down Cade and keep Cade in that elevator. Cade on 5 health right now, gonna go down. The fire from Capitao gonna be able to nick his toes and catch him eventually, so that's a really great bit of utility usage there to find one of those off-site, really difficult, really entrenched players and be able to get rid of them.
Yeah, minute left on the clock. It looks like Kunai has made a lot more progress with this minute left than they have the last round. Monty is, it looks like, banana and going towards site. Window, sorry. Very close, and everyone seems to be moving and congregating back towards site. Without the lessened roam presence from Monty Band, it looks like Kunai's taking advantage of that.
Flurry of kills come out from the side of Kunai. It's all going to be down to Pokey in a 1v5 with a Monty there to give some pings. It's going to be pretty much impossible, but ultimately it comes down to Gekyu doing a nice little trade to even things out there. And it was a solid, I think a really solid attack there from Kunai. Maybe, aside from the first round when it was Monty Band, when their first round attacking the basement, this is maybe the strongest looking attack I think we've seen. I really liked how they did things. I liked how they opened everything up and played utility and got the pinches off. They didn't have any trouble with roamers, and that's more, I guess, of a thing that Kunai should have, or that Monty Band should have been doing, is if they did have one roam presence, if they didn't just dedicate as much stuff to holding the positions on the second floor, that roamer could have disrupted Monty's ability to just push in and give pings and put a lot of pressure on the defenders holding site.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting now that Kunai isn't bringing the Monty again, because last round it worked out so well for them. Kunai, or Monty Band, didn't really seem prepared, and Kunai seemed like they knew how to utilize it. I don't know why they aren't bringing it out again, but maybe they have a strat for this. It also doesn't look like the defense Monty Band is going for as heavy of a roam presence. It still looks like they're going for a roam presence, but not as much as they did last round, or last bottom floor round.
Seen another Maestro come out too. I mean, it is the basement, and Maestro can put those evil eyes into some pretty unfriendly positions where they're just almost impossible to get rid of without exposing yourself to a number of angles in which the defense could punish you from. So understandable why they're bringing the Maestro. Just always like to highlight it because we don't see Maestro a huge amount other than maybe this site. But also the Fenrir is really strong on this bit because it can take so long for people to clear everything out that Fenrir can just be at the last second, can just disrupt anything. And speaking of taking a long time, you have Gekyu, who's just taken no time to get straight in. He's already on this staircase, been droned out, waiting for someone to come up. The shotgun first shot's gonna miss. He will ultimately get it onto Landis, so that's a good pick to open things up on. But now they know he's there, that he's not gonna really push it a whole lot more. Just gonna put down some of those hives, prevent anyone else from chasing him. Great opener though.
Yeah, it is good as well to get that opening pick this early into the round. 2 minutes left. Is that the earliest opening? It feels like one of the earlier openings
for
so far.
For this map, yeah, I think.
Yeah. It is though on the Goyo, who isn't it's never great to lose a body, but if you're gonna lose one out of these operators, Goyo is probably the one to lose because his stuff's already down. Everyone else has active utility. Kate, if he wants to trick, I guess, but Goyo is the only one that has it all down already and can forget.
Just getting the hatches open, doing their due diligence right now. The defense, as I kind of retreated, he wants to get right back into sight. He's gonna have to run through the fire, and unfortunately, he will die to that. So the pressure being put onto him, the ability to pop those Goyo canisters, is going to result in the death of the Fenrir. Another operator whose gadgets should be down, so his utility is not completely lost, although he can no longer reallocate which gadgets are actually active, which can be a really important part of Fenrir's kit, is to take the active gadgets and move them to a different side of sight. But right now, that Maestro cam is just doing a little bit of annoyance. The fire's going off. They're pushing into sight. They're going to try and get the plant down. Retro's going to see if he can't stick it out here. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of smokes going down. The smokes aren't hitting what they need to. Plant will go down, and it's going to be a pretty costly and bloody fight for the defenses. Pokey's down. It's going to be up to Coco. Those Maestro camps not really finding what they need to. He has to go up against 4 full health, essentially, attackers. Full health aside from Retro. He'll be able to pick up his friend here to assist in the retake, but the fire's going off, burning their own time. They only got about 13 seconds to make this happen, and just not going to work out for them. Dirty will find one. It's a foregone conclusion. We might as well wrap it up, as this is another round going the way of Monty Band.
And honestly, even though that was a very strong attack, it looked like a pretty decent defense too. It seems like both teams here are both doing super well. I
made a mistake. That round went the way of Kunai. Sorry, I said went the way of Monty Band. Nope, I was incorrect.
But both teams here, it seems like, are doing super well, even though maybe it won't show, because there's been a couple 4 rounds where one team only gets 1 kill or a couple. Both teams are still playing super well, and it's really exciting to see. Monty Band bringing out the Monty again, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah. And hopefully they can get these attacks. I mean, they are very strong in the attacks. Still no Legion being brought out from Kunai. The only real Monty counter being the Frost, but
I don't know if you just saw that. I was about to note it. I was going to say, the shield buff is too strong because they gave Monty the Alda. I think it's probably just a slight bug in the observer things where that was where I think Coco was on Maestro last round, and so he still had the Alda in Monty's inventory, and I was going to say that seems like a bit too strong.
5 seconds to go.
It's a mounted
would be a little bit
on his shield.
It could be in game. I've faced some players recently that are on Monty with an Alda or an LMG of some sorts lately. It's
oh, okay.
Yeah.
They sound like very legitimate and cool players.
They told me they had a gaming chair, so.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. He doesn't even need the Alda though.
He does not need the Alda. Gets a pick with the pistol off the rip like that. That is a crazy, unfortunate way to die. I think Dirty was trying to put down that castle barricade right at the wrong moment, and Monty spotted it out through the window. He may have even gotten that kill through the soft wall as Castle's trying to run away, but a great way to open things up. And now, if you look at, I always like to measure rounds with Monty in terms of primary guns, because that's a big thing, is Monty doesn't have a primary weapon. But now there's 4 primary weapons on the side of Monty Band, and there's only now 2 on the side, or 3 on the side of Kunai, because they've lost another player.
Oh, and Quaz getting right into sight, managing to take out another from Quaz. Sorry. Now it's down to a 1v4 with Dexy. Off site, alone, he has to go through beepers or take a long way around to sight. Either way, they will know where he is. Beepers going off. The attacker's on the note, and it's just a Monty. You cannot defeat a Monty.
No. Looks like both teams took I should say not both teams. Monty Band on attack took a little bit of a page out of last game's book and just played that really quickly and really aggressively. And I think it just came off of that initial pick that Coco got. Got that initial pick, was like, well, they're down a player. Why don't we just brute force this thing and rush everything? And it worked out really well for them.
You know, just jumping in through the Bravo, jumping in through stock, just dropping through the hatch, getting 2. Very nice. Very nice to see that gap, to take it and just to get the round. Coco again on the Monty. What can we say?
Should have banned Monty.
Should have been Monty.
That's what we can say. It's a warning. Because they're doing really well with the Monty. And I know that in terms of siege maps, Bank is usually the one that is the most attacker-sided. I think statistically, it usually comes out that it's still not actually attacker-sided. But it's very close.
Yeah.
It's one of the few maps that's very close.
10 seconds to go.
But this one, Monty Band just looked exceptional on attack. They have really solid control of everything they're doing. When they bring that Monty, aside from the one round, they did lose one of their attacking rounds, but other than that, they've been really incredible to watch on attack.
Yeah, and Kunai doesn't seem to be adapting really. They aren't bringing any other Monty counters. Again, a Legion would be perfect. An Echo would be perfect. Anyone would be, a Clash even would be perfect. But Kunai, it seems like they have their strats, they have their playbook written up, and they just want to follow that to the letter.
Yeah, honestly, a Clash would be really good here. The only problem with Clash on Bank is there are so many windows that it's really hard to make sure you're never exposing yourself. Because anytime you turn to maybe address a player or to go face to face with a Monty, you turn and you're exposed to a window, and someone on a window can easily kill you. That's the one problem that I've noticed with Clashes on Bank, is they're pretty easy to put into disadvantaged positions.
But I mean, even if Clash wants to play towards site and just wait for the Monty to come, because it's all a very direct attack, that would work too. Mm-hmm. Hopefully Kunai can adapt. If it goes to overtime, hopefully Kunai can take it and adapt. We'll have to see though.
Ooh. Quaz getting a pick with that Deimos revolver right there. He's going to see some of those tracker drones also coming out, and I think punishing Demented here a little bit. However, Quaz will be traded out by Dexter, so things are going to be evened out a little bit here. Meanwhile, we're just seeing Monty Band. They're doing a lot of stuff to try and once again remove the defenders from these power positions on the second floor. They're throwing grenades up through the hatch into elevator to remove the elevator person. They're on the windows looking at these long angles to just make everything work. This could be pretty big though. I was watching that flank happen. I didn't think Fire knew what was going on there, but Fire is clear, does find a kill, but then ultimately gets shut down by Dirty. Landis finds one onto Retro. It's gonna all be up to Dirty now, but has to find 3 more kills, one of them onto a Monty. Remember, this is gonna be a really tough fight to win. He's switching between guns, he's getting pinged from both angles, and Pokey ultimately does finish him off with the secondary SMG there.
A is coming out from Pokey. I suck. All right, I mean, I think Pokey's doing pretty good. I think Kunai, again, if they can just adapt, I want to see them adapt. I want to see them counter this Monty. It's so oppressive. And it just doesn't seem like they are doing... There it is. Finally. Thank you, Dexy. Thank you. Finally, the Legion is being brought out. It took until round 9 of Monty. But finally, the Legion is brought out.
Attackers need to locate.
I think I said this while we were watching round 2. So after Monty Band had their pretty decisive win in round 1 with Monty, I was saying that in order for Kunai to win, they have to adapt and bring new strats to beat this Monty. They won that round 2 because they had a decent amount of flank pressure that made it so Monty couldn't ever, truly feel safe from both sides. But yeah, I think it's taken a little too long for them to bring out some specific operator counters to Monty.
But it is good to see now that they are out, finally.
10 seconds left before insertion.
And no, I do want to see both teams do good, but I really want to see this Monty finally be countered, because it has been so oppressive.
Yeah,
Attackers are
so
moving out
good.
to locate a bomb and defuse it.
It'd be fun to see another opening pick by Monty if that happens again.
Oh, that would be
Snipe
incredible.
somebody with the pistol.
But it doesn't look like it's going to go that way. But
Yeah, that's another observer bug.
okay, yeah, I was
The attackers
really
bomb
confused there for a
diffuser
Now,
second.
has been
for
dropped.
those who don't know, Siege recently updated the observer UI and everything. And of course, as any person who watches / plays Siege know, anytime there's any sort of update, no matter how small, it creates all sorts of weird bugs. So if you ever see someone running outside that's a different color than the rest of the attackers, it might be someone running out. It also just might be one of their teammates that for some reason has a different highlighted color today.
Looks like a nice play together, though, the Capitan and the Monty, I was about to say, going towards, Capitan Monty and Zero, sorry, going towards ATM, and just trying to take that side, go up spiral yet again. if anyone can from Kunai can go down and manage to control lobby and keep that, that would be incredible. We'll have to see though. Looks like Hibana's going for the Kanto wall again. Down here, Capitão's ready to EMP it on command.
It's a pretty standard bit of work that they're doing. This is kind of how they've been handling a lot of these situations. They get that Capitão down there with the pocket EMPs. They open up this wall from afar with Hibana. It is taking a little bit for them to make things work, and that K-Claw not going to work. The second EMP is going to come out, so that other K-Claw, not really a whole lot of point to putting down. That Cade is then once again relegated to elevator, where they're going to try and maybe pressure him out of elevator with either fire bolts or maybe some nades from below, where they throw them up through the hatch. And ooh, great long angle. Demented making the best out of the situation, finding a pick from elevator, but there's the firebolt. Not going to quite force him out. He can hide right in this corner. That's really advantageous for him.
That's very big. I think they think it's clear now then.
Oh, this could be bad.
Oh.
They might still have a ping. Yeah, they're still firing into it. So oh, because Monty's obviously gonna.
Second one though doesn't manage to have to force him out of elevator. This is looking very strong for Kunai. The Cade still managing to just stick in there and watch. Never mind, getting taken out by the Capitão.
Capitão with a good peek there does find that pick, so that's going to give him a lot more space. Monty can start pressuring these guys that are in kind of the ancillary parts of site, force everyone back to site. It makes it a lot easier to keep track of the defenders, but you can keep track of them doesn't mean you're going to win out your fights. Pokey falls to Dexy across the map, so that does give advantage to Kunai, and as time's ticking down, this is going to be really difficult because once again there are two primary weapons here for the side of Montyban. One of them lights up as Fire finds one, Quaz lights up with the other primary weapon, finding one onto Dexy, so now it's evened out. Or actually not evened out. Montyban has advantage. Monty can really be strong here, but gonna have to get this plant down soon. Quaz can find one, Retro's gonna find another. Plant has to start going down. Do they know where Retro is? They have no idea, and I don't know if they just didn't have diffuser or what, but Retro just hid in the smoke. The LMG fire raining all around him. He could just hide and didn't have any sort of repercussions there.
And that's yet another example of time just playing for the defense. I mean, a couple more seconds, that LMG probably would have taken out that castle, but time beats all. Wow. Okay, and it was nice to finally see that Legion brought out, even if they didn't win the round. Kunai, or sorry, they did win the round. My mistake. The 3-3 is screwing with me a bit.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to.
Sorry, they did win the round. It won the round, even some might say. But to see that Legion brought out is very nice to see. Because before they weren't really adapting, they were bringing the exact same lineups on the exact same sites, mostly running the exact same, making some minor changes. Nice to see Kunai adapting that. Very good.
It's nice to see them bring the Legion. However, I will point out that was, in my opinion, that was a Montyban round. Like, they won the round. It just came down to the fact that they didn't have, they couldn't locate the last person because the last person was hiding in smoke. And obviously the Legion did do some of that damage and really forcing them to play in the last like 10 seconds of the match, which is part of why they lost. So Legion did have an impact, but that was also just a really solid play coming out from, is it Retro, I think?
I think the castle.
But a really solid play there. Good instinct to hide in the smoke, to not engage, to just try and wait out the time and use that to your advantage, and it worked out really well. Because Montyban did have a really solid run right at the end there, where they took man advantage. They were taking sight. They just couldn't find that last person.
Oh, for sure. And it looks like now Kunai's taking a page out of Montyban's book and just going for more of a directed take. Looks like they're going to do the classic Thermite on the wall, Osa shield down, and then reverse plant maybe, and just a very standard take, which is very nice to see.
I'll put this Osa shield down, probably try and bait out some stuff. There you go, they bait out one of those Goyo canisters.
Frey going out to destroy the rest.
Looking at the explosives that the defenders have, they got one impact, or is that two impact? I think that's two impacts in the pocket of, wait, no, I think both impacts have been used. Never mind, ignore me. There are two C4s though. Mira has one, Cade has one. Those can both take out these Osa shields. So Osa's gonna probably try and bait one of those out. Wait for the fire to finish here, go in, try and put the shield down, and then pull it out just like that. Baiting out those smoke canisters. Gonna see if they can't get some more of those Goyo, maybe a C4. Lots of utility being expended. And while this is good for Kunai, they're getting rid of all that utility. A lot of time is being passed too.
Oh, for sure. And not the best throw there from Smoke. But 2 in the pocket right now. Getting those used very early and managing to bait those out very early. Even if they decide not to end up planting here, still very nice to do. Very nice to get all the goils done. Very nice to get all the smokes done. It leaves you open.
I'm kind of curious as to why Pokey threw. Why is Pokey even throwing this many smokes right now? I get that you want to keep the attackers at bay, but you know that they're just baiting them out. Like, you know that they're not fully committing yet. You could probably hold those in your pockets and wait a little bit longer.
Part of the reasoning might be because they want the rush to come in a little more, and the nitros are more powerful that way.
Unfortunately there for Gekko, he gets caught sprinting, but he did manage to get 1 pick. Plant's going to be going down, though. The C4s aren't going to have anything to say about it as they come in a little too late. Coco will pick up someone with the C4, but with Plant already down, with Coco going down, with Quaz being the only defender up, and you know there's 2 attackers alive. This is going to be a tough thing. Do they know Quaz is coming here? They don't. That's the full health attacker taken off. It's all up to Dirty, who's on 11 HP and tucked all the way back in dirt. Quaz is gonna be able to start hitting this. It's really just a mind game now. How much do you peek? How much do you do this? You're not gonna be able to win it out. There's just too much HP on that 3 armor or Rooney. Oh, had to stop the defuse just to hit him with a question mark in the chat. Absolutely brutal way to lose that. Does not feel good.
Yeah, bring it up to 5-5. I think drawing a smiley face there at the end. Tying up the match. Both teams 1 round off of match point.
Not a smiley face. That was an L.
Ooh.
Oof.
I was optimistic. How did you miss? 5-5 on mate. We are a little bit of trash talk going in there. Oh boy.
Always love when the trash talk comes out, but it's not entirely unwarranted there. That was a situation in which, you know, Monty Ban were seemingly gonna lose that round. Plant had gone down, they had lost control of the site, they had expended pretty much all of their utility. There was a lot of different places that the attackers could be. They could be upstairs, they could be all the way back in server, in dirt, in the server staircase, that blue staircase, and yet they managed to throw all of those advantages away, and it turns into a 1v1 that he just can't. Honestly, he probably shouldn't have even taken the 1v1. He should have peeked out of dirt, fired a few shots at the exposed foot of the Aruni, and then quickly tucked back in as the Aruni hopped off to re-engage. Played the clock a little bit more, but didn't go out like that. Monty Ban managed to get a pretty surprising win there on the back of a great Quaz clutch.
Yeah, and it was the last round as well. It was interesting to see that all the smokes going out that early. The plant might have not gone down if, they had been conserved and saved and not baited. But round is won by the defense, so what can we say?
We've also reached the max round of regulation here as both teams have gotten to that 5-point scoreline. So they do have a chance to still beat each other in regulation if one of them manages to take the next 2 rounds. But an overtime is looking kind of likely as of how back and forth it's been. And especially since I think there's going to be a side swap that's going to come out pretty soon. And that could, easily throw the advantage back to one team. I would say overtime is not uncommon in these sort of situations.
Looks like Monty Ban's going heavy with the roam here again. Pokey looks alone here on site. The drones are up with Maestro. The drones are coming out. It looks like Kunai knows. And they're going in through that janitor, and they are just watching and waiting. Waiting to strike, waiting to see that gap, waiting to get it.
Castle's going to be taking a few points of damage there as he tries to keep contesting and hold these attackers at bay who are looking to push up pretty aggressively. Monty just at the entrance of this door finally starting to push in. These Finka charges are coming out and healing, but they did lose Dexy, so they are now down in man count, and they have to worry about Quaz. They don't have to worry about him anymore as he loses that gunfight where he just won it last round. Gets punished by someone swinging out of dirt. Demented keeps it going as he shuts down fire. So now Monty Ban, this is a tough win as Retro finds another on the round. That's 3 of them down. It's a 2v4 clutch that's going to have to come out from the remaining members of Coco and Landis. Coco finds one, but is quickly traded out. All up to Landis here. The Monty giving his position away. Active callouts coming in. It's going to be an easy headshot, or at least it should be here from Gekko, but Landis just finding him. finding the picks. Plant will go down, so at least they have that, but...
I mean, even if he manages to take out the Ram, 1v1s against the Monty are always rough.
Yeah.
And yeah, 30 seconds left on the clock. He can just wait.
He could just wait. This is going to be a pretty tough clutch. As much as I would like to see a clutch happen, they're always super exciting. He got that opening pick here, or that first opener for the clutch. The rest of this is just a little too hard, especially since Demented's he has no idea where Demented is. Demented's all the way in Archives, spraying through a couple soft walls. Easy finish here for them as they manage to take back another round themselves.
Yeah, no, a very good attack. Just walking in slowly through that square, through that, getting the Finka boost to go up. Timeout being called here by Monty Ban. I guess talking about what went wrong. Just seeing how they can fix it.
And credit to Kunai. That was a really good use of Monty that they had there. Monty worked very well for them. They had brought Monty previously on attack, and it wasn't quite as effective, but this one was a very effective use of Monty. Going toe-to-toe with Monty Ban's Monty. How many times can I say Monty?
Quite a lot, I guess. I'd love to be able to do a listen in. I think that'd be pretty fun. And with some of the teams, maybe, but
yeah,
I do want to know what right Monty Ban is. Yeah, Prod. Hey,
can we pull up player cams, Prod?
No, I do think though I would love to know what Monty Ban is talking about. What they're, because I do think as well they haven't been exactly playing super badly. I think they've been playing well. Both teams have been playing well. I don't know exactly what they have to fix. I guess taking the Legion, maybe the smoke to counter that Monty, which Retro did play very, very well and is playing again very, very well. Going back to the same site too, so I guess the Legion is meant to be the adaptation from Monty Ban to counter Kunai there.
Did partially work for Kunai when they themselves had to counter the Monty and they brought that Legion. Because remember, we did talk about how the Legion did slow them down enough to the point where it really just came down to the clock. And hopefully that's what Monty Ban are thinking here as well, is they're going to put down those goo mines. They're going to just stall as much as they can and delay time, because that might be the only way they win. If Kunai are going to be bringing the same caliber of attack that they brought last time, the same sort of coordination and the lethality that they had, they aren't going to stick it out with a Monty though. So I think they maybe saw the Legion, decided that, man, we don't need a Monty, we'll go for an Osa instead.
And Osa definitely, yeah, when there's Legion on the board, Osa a lot better of an option. Still has the shield, can move them though, can pick them up, can place them. Frags, very good. Very good play. Ram here as well, looking to clear vertical. So it looks like Kunai is going to take this one maybe a bit slower than the last time, and just clear out everything. Clear out the big map that is Bank. Take their time.
Aside from the typical methodology of opening the hatches above basement, we haven't really seen a whole lot of dedicated vertical play this entire game. So yeah, I think that Ram is signifying a little bit of a difference in how they're doing things. They're going to start opening up onto the Archives player here, chew through the floor, just make it really difficult for that player to play safely. But Archives player going to make sure no one can just rappel in. You have to have someone above Archives in order to play the vertical Archives angles. He's just going to make sure no one can even get into Archives in the first place. Meanwhile, first pick does go the way of the defense. It's Landis, finds one there onto Dement. So that's pretty good if you're rooting for Monty Ban. If you want them to stay in this and push it to overtime, that's how things go. But Dexy has something to say about it. Retro has something to say about it. If Gekyu has something to say about it, it's all orange in the kill feed. Kunai just lighting up. They're going straight for the plan, and it is down. 4 guns are up. 2 defenders have to clutch this out. And if you look, Pokey's low on HP. Landis is full, so Landis is probably going to have to be the one doing most of the carrying here, but every member of Kunai is just tucked away in someplace else. The Osa cameras are going to be, or the Osa shields are going to keep things there. A great kill from Landis, though. Onto Dexy. Great little spray, but he does ultimately have to fight an Osa shield, which is just nigh impossible. Retro shuts him down. Coming in.
Pokey giving up.
About 7 seconds, and yeah. Pokey as a 3 armor can't even make it there. Save an op for next round. Oh, wait. Not going to be a next round. That is game, and that means that Kunai won this very important match here in terms of qualifiers. It doesn't mean that they necessarily are qualified, but in terms of how likely they are to be qualified, it just skyrocketed. They're in a much better position. This was a really important round here. So we'll have to see how everything plays out. We were told earlier that it is going to come down to tiebreakers and stuff like that. So that will be figured out pretty quickly after this and after all the games are done. But it was a pretty exciting match.
Yeah, very good. Both teams took their time. They played aggressive when they did it. You know, honestly, it felt like I was watching like Challenger League. It felt very good. Both teams played well.
Yeah, obviously any form of strategy is going to stand in such stark contrast to what we were seeing in the previous map. But this one, there was a lot of very deliberate strategy. The usage of Mani and having these attacks oriented around Mani, the way they cleared out certain areas, elevator on second floor, like you kept mentioning the Kento wall getting up. Like there was a lot of focus on clearing out these positions, doing things methodically, doing your due diligence that you have to do to kind of make sure everything works. It was really fun for both teams. My camera just turned off.
Oh. But yeah. But yeah, no, it was nice to see again, especially after that last game.
I'm gonna blame it on the storm, saying it was a power outage, and totally not me forgetting to prevent my camera from falling asleep.
Of course, yeah.
But that is it for qualifier 2 here. So both qualifiers now have been done. This was the final round of the second qualifier. We are officially now going to have the full list of teams that are going to be playing in season 1 of the Blitz Gaming series, which we are done for tonight. There are no more games tonight, unfortunately, so that is done for both of us, but there will be more Siege coming out of BGS really soon, so keep your eyes out for that. Always have the Twitch notifications turned on for whenever we go live, because we have more stuff coming. And Standby, it was your first cast. How do you think it went? I think it was a lot of fun.
I think it went fine. Might do it again.
Better than
might
fine.
not. We'll see. I think it went great. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Well,
I
had a
great
blast.
cast with you as well.
Yeah, it was great.
First? No,
I had a blast, and I hope you did too. I hope everyone watching had a blast. We had some really fun games, but that is all for us tonight. You can always check out the OPL page or anything if you want to see the actual standings and how everything falls out once all the matches in round 10 here are done. So if you're curious about who's going to actually be playing in BGS, go check that out. But in terms of the stream, that's it. I'm all done. You have anything else to say?
All right. No, I think that's about it. All
right.
Yeah. Excited to
guys.
see where BGS goes.
We'll see you on the next one. And yeah, excited for more Siege in the future.
And I've been chilling, watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a low, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on a full moon. And we're stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. like I'm Jimmy.